because he always used to act when defending.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. Thank you very much for that, Ian Wright. With an intro like that, what more can I say? People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Please make sure you're subscribing, you're turning your notifications on, you're smashing the like button, and you're also offering your opinions. Every one of these things helps boost the engagement, and we keep ticking over, people. And as usual, appreciative of all of you lot tuned in. Hope you're doing well and safe. Now, obviously, just because Arsenal are not in action, people saying that, you know, just under a month until we're back in Premier League action. Obviously, we've got some pre-season friendlies, well, mid-season friendlies. We've announced a game against Juventus, and I think we've got a couple of others. So yeah, man, you know, that doesn't mean Arsenal lose sleep. So without wasting any more time, let's see what the current talking points are in relation to Arsenal. Now, I can't lie, many people again, we've got a good manager, we've got good players. Good players and good managers are always in high demand, especially those that are at the, you know, the beginner stage of their careers. You know, Mykhaylo Arteta, you know, probably aged a lot since he's taken the Arsenal job, but without sounding condescending, in a managerial point of view, he's a baby. You know, he's just started his managerial career, and, you know, by God's grace, he lives a long life and also has a long, positive managerial career. At Arsenal specifically, big up to you, whatever you do elsewhere, Mykhaylo, but it's irrelevant. Now, as you can see in this report, Arsenal's ownership is pressing Arteta to sign a new long-term contract at the club, as Barcelona and Manchester City are keeping tabs on the Spaniard. His current contract, as you can see here, expires in 2025, people, and he's in the mix to replace Pep Guardiola, who's just renewed his deal at City. This doesn't shock me because he's a manager proving his wealth. Obviously, people want good managers. I couldn't begrudge him if he did want to go and manage City, because that was probably what he was being groomed for. Being a Spaniard, Barcelona and Real Madrid are the two biggest jobs, excluding managing the national team. I couldn't begrudge him for that. He signed a new deal. Hopefully, he can sign a new one. But I think this is a bit of paper talk. I think there's admiration, clearly. I think if he did leave Arsenal, or if he did want something to try something new, these clubs have him on their radar. Obviously, Edu's been promoted in terms of a role. We're now beginning the process of renewing several deals for our young players. And you'd imagine Arteta within the next 18 months signs an improvement upon the improvement. But, you know, again, with Mykhaylo Arteta, as much as he's doing well, is he necessarily ready for them jobs? I don't doubt that he's more experienced, but is he ready? Because if I look at it harshly, what have you done at Arsenal? You've won a FA Cup, you won a Community Shield, you rebuilt the fragments of the team. Make no mistake, I'm loving what he's doing. But if he leaves tomorrow, like even this season, how we're doing very well, you know, we need to be saying these same things in May. And there's certain luxuries that you might be afforded at Arsenal that City and definitely Barcelona might not. Let's remember, this is a good relationship where Arteta gets to get experience, doesn't face necessary criticism and scapegoating that he might at other clubs as well. If he leaves, it is what it is, people. We need to have the next manager lined up. But, you know, I think Mykhaylo Arteta will have that sort of, you know, a bit like Edu, is that anything can happen, but the work isn't finished yet. You haven't really enjoyed the fruits of your labor. Now that you finally got your own team, the team is singing from the same hymn sheet in all fragments of the organization. You know, you want to see these players reach maturity, improve them, and then see what you could say. I couldn't begrudge him for turning down either club, for not turning down either club. But I mean, it's a bit of paper talk. I'll leave you lot to draw your conclusions on that as well, people. Again, Arsenal concerns emerge as Mykhaylo Arteta aware of Barcelona's interest in making him boss. I mean, he came from La Masia way before he played for Everton, Rangers, or Arsenal, or PSG. I couldn't begrudge him for that, people. As you know, again, and one thing that should give him confidence is that we've kept faith in you. Obviously, it seems like you're the guy now. When he signed the new deal, there was a lot of eyebrows being raised, and he was rewarded with a new deal that runs until 2025. So within the next 18 months, once again, you'd imagine that he is going to have to sign a new deal and whatnot. I'm sure his family's settled in London. I'm sure he enjoys his working environment. I can't begrudge anyone, managers, players, sporting directors, for having ambition and going and doing bigger and better things, as much as that pains me. But it is what it is. Barcelona have just got Xavi, and, you know, whether he's the guy is neither here nor there, but it seems like they're staying with him. According to this report from Sport, Barcelona are very aware of the impressive work Arteta has done in North London and view him as a candidate capable of managing the club in the future. Fair enough, man. The report goes on to outline that the Arsenal hierarchy led by Stan Kroenke are already pressing Arteta to extend his contract for the long-term project just months after finalising terms on his current deal. Although Arsenal are keen to tie him down for longer, Arteta also knows that he has admirers at Man City. As you know, he cut his teeth with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. And again, it doesn't probably make sense him entertaining questions about his future or committing to a new deal. Yeah, you get more money, you probably get more compensation, and it further confirms the faith we've got. But you've literally just signed a new deal, and the work is still yet to be done at Arsenal. So I do think there's admiration, and as he keeps growing, there's going to be more admiration from other clubs. It's a bit like Bukayo Saka. If he becomes available, everybody in Europe wants him. We can never sign Kylian Mbappe or Jude Bellingham at this moment in time because of the fees. But if they become available, everyone and their nan's going to want them because they're good players, good managers, good technical directors, always going to be in high demand. Under Wenger and things like that, this was said prior to Arteta really getting his own team, how many players, sporting director, even the gaffer would be wanted by other teams. So I see it as admiration. Everybody wants the best in the business in all fragments of life. So we'll have to draw whatever conclusion you see there, people. So it is what it is in that regards. That's nothing with Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal holding out for Serie A star now that they are back in the big time. We've been linked with Rodrigo Bacon again, but some reports say he actually prefers a move to go and play under Antonio Conte at Tottenham Hotspur. Fabrizio Romano kind of quashed this prior and said that there's been no bids from Arsenal, Everton, or Tottenham Hotspur. We could upgrade at centre half. If you could get a left-sided centre half, I think we'd all be laughing. Respectfully to Rob Holding, again, Gabriel and Saliba are the guys right now. You've got Ben White, who can play well at centre half. Tomiyasu can go in there as well. If it's not these 3 to 4 names that I mentioned, respectfully to Holding, it's a massive drop-off in quality, especially if it's a back four. So long term, and I say, in fact, better yet, medium term, I'd say if you could in January, definitely in the summer, probably need a centre back that can add to the depth. And if any injury suspensions happen, we don't drop off to a certain sort of level. So I don't know if you could read this into it. Everybody's linked with everyone. Apparently, his contract is running down, but we have been linked with him, Ivan, and Dika. So there has to be some substance to us wanting a defender. Going back to the summer, Lisandro Martinez, who there was talk about playing him left back at the time. He only played 12 career appearances as a left back. The bulk of his games were at centre half. When we were scouting him, we lost out to Man United. You were seeing the bulk of his games at centre half, and he's also a left-sided one. So I do believe it is something Arteta wants if he could, innit? Probably to go with a couple of other roles. So it is what it is regarding that, people. I'm sure you've all seen, Rabiot's actually been linked with us since probably 1999, people. He keeps getting linked. Contract is running down. I'm not going to lie. He has been in good form for Juventus, and he was in good form for the France game against Australia. Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham to fight for Rabiot free transfer after 15 million move to Manchester United collapsed in the summer. And who's to say they won't go back in for him? As a kid, he spent time at Manchester City, so I'm sure him and his family are fairly familiar with the Manchester way of life, people. So yeah, he might even renew his deal at Juventus. Who knows? He's 27, so the deal he gets is very important, people. He's being monitored by Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and probably a whole bunch of other clubs. He wants a contract worth 8.6 million per net, people. A figure the free that is mentioned here are prepared to offer. His contract is expiring as well, people, and he did see a move to Manchester United fail in the summer. He said the contract extension with Juventus, I don't know. It's not the time to talk about it. These performances helped me to get a move, but also to discuss the renewal with Juventus. I'm focused on the World Cup as of now. And that's true. If he plays well on the pitch for club and country, you get more money from Juventus, or other clubs come in for you and give you what you seek in it. But it doesn't help him to be speaking about such people. He's also, as you can see there, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal have all been linked with him, people. Again, this is said 10 million per season, which probably equates to about 8 million and things like that, people. Patrici was at Juventus, people, when he was signed on a free transfer from PSG. That could give Tottenham Hotspur some sort of credit in the bank. Chelsea got an exciting project that's going to undertake, maybe not so much this season. Obviously, he's a Frenchman. Saliba could chat to you in the squad, and obviously Arsenal have a lot of historic French ties with Arsene Wenger, etc. People. So who knows what that means really? I think he has commented as well. People, he said the experience in Serie A has served me well. I can't speak for Theo and Giroud. I speak for myself. Obviously, other Serie A players. It's been very useful because with your attention to tactics, I've learned a lot of things and I'm putting them into practice. In midfield, we've suffered major absences, but we showed that you cannot underestimate us. We also have the potential and quality. He also did speak on potential similarities between Allegri, but forget all of that. The relevance is, if I'll stay with Juventus, I don't know yet. It's not the moment to talk about it. No doubt these performances help me to go elsewhere, but also to talk with Juventus. But now my focus is on the World Cup. And I mean, that kind of echoes what we saw already, people. Once again, Chelsea and Arsenal are prepared to make him an offer, people. And he currently earns 7.7 million euros per year. And apparently his mum is a difficult negotiator. And if you saw the Euros for France, it was Kylian Mbappe's dad versus his mum in it. So they're very diplomatic. So it is what it is. Once again, this Sports Witness article is further confirming that allegedly we've joined the race to sign Rodrigo Becco, people. His contract expires in 2024. He was showing no willingness to sign a new deal. So between January and the summer of next year, they're going to have to get him moved on in it if they want to make some decent profit. Once again, he's been linked with us, Spurs, and also Everton. Everybody's linked with everyone, people. Once again, we've been linked with Milinkovic-Savic. Arsenal transfer now more tempting for player after summer rejection. Club chief remains stubborn, and he did all right against Brazil in the World Cup. This article has said 60 million euros plus Albert Sambi Lokonga. I mean, if we assume Lokonga's still worth 20 million, that's 80 million on him. And they're saying they want 100 million for a player whose contract expires in 2024. It's a myth. Seems like we're not going to get him, but you never know. You put the money on the table and the Serbian could be yours, people. Apparently, if he doesn't sign an extension, they'd be willing to accept 60 million euros. So I think that's about 50. Arsenal have spent a lot more worse, could do a lot worse. I would sanction that if you could. He's got the physicality, the technical ability, the quality. There's a lot to like about Milinkovic-Savic. He adds a bit of height in the Arsenal midfield as well. There's a lot to like about him. So, I'd be all for it personally. Allegedly, Dean Jones has spoke on Mudryk. Dean Jones on Mudryk and Arsenal. I think he could end up going there. I don't think there's any doubt that he's already keen on this move. He's been impressed by the turnaround they've made at the club. He also said the fact that they've made a big decision to ditch Aubameyang and move towards having faith in different kind of players, that will have impressed him, people, allegedly. And I think this article just echoes the same thing. But Mudryk could want to sign for us as much as he wants. Arsenal could want to sign him as much as we want. We need to come to an agreement with his club. Indirectly, my personal opinion is I think we've been talking to his draft of a contract, what sort of wages he would like to make, what sort of length of contract, bonuses, all of that jazz. Indirectly, maybe Edu or people on behalf of Edu and Arteta have indirectly kind of showed him how he would fit into the plans of the club and tie in with the manager, maybe even direct conversations with Mykhaylo Arteta and things. The last thing is to get a fee agreed, and that is, Shakhtar are gonna. That is the hardest thing, and Shakhtar are gonna play hardball, rightly so. They want top money for the 21-year-old Ukrainian lad. Don't know about 100 million euros, but it is what it is, people. As you know, there were various reports over the summer that Arsenal were on the verge of signing Mudryk with personal terms already agreed with the player. We couldn't agree a fee, having tabled a bid of around 45 million. Everton, Nice, and apparently Sevilla as well, and Newcastle also put bids on the table. And once again, he did say, my dream is to play in the Premier League. He's spoken a lot. Big up Miss Zinchenko because she did an interview with him. My dream is to play in the Premier League. Of course, Arsenal is a very good team, very good manager. So from my side, I can't say no to Arsenal. And he has 17 goal contributions. Hopefully, we can bring Danilo to the carpet. And Yeremy Pino links seem to have gone cold. But it is what it is in that regards, people. Once again, Rabiot said, I don't know my future. I don't know if I'm going to stay at Juventus. It's not time to discuss it. So yeah, read into that what you will. We already saw that with Mykhaylo Arteta. That's for another video. So yeah, people, I think that seems to be the only real Arsenal news. I mean, Mykhaylo Arteta is drawing more admirers. You've got Mudryk, milinkovic-savic sort of news. Rabiot, I'm not too sure if you lot would sanction that signing. If you would want Rabiot to sign for the club, please let me know by commenting either in the live chat when this is going on or in the comments after the vid. Make sure you're subscribing, hitting the like button and the rest of it. Most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll meet up again, people. As usual, appreciative of all the support you give my channel and all the content support, engagement and things you lot do. So yeah, you lot stay blessed. Take care. I'm out.
So it's always just that active and defending.
I think it's like